Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. I'm your host, Marco D'Angelo, joined in studio by Brian Leonard, also of WagerTalk.com. We're going to break down college football action. First game up, we're going to take a look at Duke at Syracuse. And I got to tell you, Brian, this Duke team, they're playing amazing football, 7-1. Who would have figured that with Duke? A top 25 ranking. The stock is as high as it could be on the Duke Blue Devils right now.
I'm not so sure. Duke was a very good team last year. They've got an excellent coach. I know probably some reasons why you like this game. I think I'll counter some of those arguments with you.
Yes, you do know which way I like to look at games. And looking at this one, I do feel this is a bad spot for Duke. A couple things going on, scheduling-wise. First of all, they're coming off a double overtime game last week with the Pitt Panthers. And I'll tell you, Pitt let me down last week. I was on Pitt. Never really was in a position to win the game. I mean, they were trading touchdowns back and forth. It'd be up 7, be tied, back and forth. But they did have an opportunity at the end of regulation to give me a push, the Pitt Panthers, kicking a field goal, 23-yard field goal, game over, except they blew it. And that was the name of the kicker. I can't make that stuff up. The Pitt field goal kicker's name is Blewett, his last name, and he did, missing that field goal, and then in the second overtime, Duke won the game. Playing a game like that, I just think got to leave a team drained. And it's not been, a good situation for Duke as well with their schedule. This is going to be their 4th road game out of the last 5. And coming off that double overtime. Got to think the tank's a little empty.
You're just this is probably a spite play for you because of the Pitt loss, and you've taken it out on this Duke team.
Possibly. In poker, we have the term going on tilt, and Duke put me on tilt to start the Saturday last week.
Well, this Duke team, it's similar to the Indianapolis Colts. I read all these things that Duke's getting out-yarded in all their games. They don't deserve to win, and yet they continue to win. What have they won? 15 out of the last 16 games in the regular season, and you're facing a team right now in Syracuse, a freshman quarterback, a team who is really beat up right now, and they haven't had a bye yet this year. So while Duke, yes, they're off of a double overtime win, and normally you won't go against that. This Syracuse team is beat up also, and I think Syracuse is a team we can go against at this point. To be honest with you, I bet Duke -3 as soon as the line came out. I like this Duke team. You're getting them in a situation where they just have to win. And as we have seen, they've won, 15-16, 16-17? I don't know. I tend to lose track when my teams win.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll tell you, you look at this team, and everything you're saying is true. I can't argue with you. And it looks like we're going to probably have to have another lunchtime bet on stage. I know you got to
lose weight. You got to quit making these bets with me. I'm tired of winning this.
Yeah, well, don't worry. If you keep winning the bets, the places you take me, or if I ever win a bet where you take me, I'll lose weight because it's not as nice as where I take you. Yeah. But that's another story.
McDonald's doesn't put out coupons. I'm sorry.
This is a situation with Duke. They're in the top 25. They're riding high. They got to be giddy off of last week. I haven't used it for a while, and I'm going to use it on a couple games this week. We're going to pull out fat and sassy this week. Duke has to be fat and sassy after last week's game. In Pitt, their offense is not a juggernaut. You got to admit, they've got a decent offense, but not a juggernaut. They put up 594 yards last week.
Duke gives up a lot of yardage. They just don't give up the points.
I think they're going to give up the points this week, and I don't know if you noticed or not, because generally early in November you're not looking at that. But this is the final home game of the season for Syracuse. So I look for a big effort for them on senior day, get a team that's in the top 25, make their season. They still have an outside shot at a bowl, but if they lose today, it's done. They have to run the table. And they do have a couple opponents that possibly they could beat. I'm going to take Syracuse. I'm going to call the upset, and it's going to be a lunchtime bet. One of us will be paying for lunch next week. I am going to take Syracuse plus the points. I'm calling for the outright victory, 27-23 on Saturday. And guys, if you want to join me on Saturday, I've got a big 5% play going at Wager Talk. Now, I don't release 5% plays every day, not like other sites that have big games every day of the week. I've released 6 of them the entire football season We've gone 5-1. The one we missed by a field goal. If you want to join me Saturday, head on over to wagertalk.com and check out my conference game of the month. We hit our college game of the month last Saturday with UCLA. I found another game in conference play I like, and we're going to give it the 5% play. And if the game loses, it's backed by 150% guarantee. That is something exclusive at wagertalk.com. He's Brian Leonard and Marco D'Angelo. We'll be right back. We're going to check out another college football game on Saturday.